Welcome along to the Bet Rivers Cricket Show. How's that with me, Ed Hawkins, joined as ever by former odds compiler John Wright. We're ready to take you through the first 5 matches of the World Cup. How are you doing, John?
Yeah, not too bad, Ed. Good.
Good stuff. We've got some cracking games to find the best picks for you for these opening salvos in the World Cup, the tournament in India. India favourites. Check out our preview show for the futures on that one. We're quite keen on India to win this tournament, but we've got some big games to preview. We'll give you the best picks for each game as we go, rather than a big chunk at the end. We've got England versus New Zealand on Thursday from Ahmedabad to preview here on the Bet Rivers Cricket Show. Then we've got Netherlands versus Pakistan from Hyderabad on the Friday. Saturday, your double header is Afghanistan versus Bangladesh from Dharamsala. And then we're over to Delhi for South Africa versus Sri Lanka. And then probably the pick of the opening exchanges. It's the massive game. India hosting Australia, of course, in Chennai. John will find the best picks for those games. Let's kick off with England versus New Zealand. It's a repeat, of course, of the 2019 final. Your Bet Rivers money line for you for this one. England, well, they're very warm favourites at -230. New Zealand at +180. I suspect, like you, although these sides have met recently in ODI series in England, conditions completely different, and we can probably disregard that series which England won, and New Zealand looking possibly a bit unfairly rated here.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't surprise me if England got off to a slow start. They have done in previous World Cups. So, I thought the betting possibly could be a little bit shade closer together. I wouldn't read too much into the ODI series that was played in England recently. I think England, both sides were sort of like trying out different things. England won. I mean, the innings that Ben Stokes played at the Oval was unbelievable. But Ahmedabad is not going to be nothing like the Oval, is it, as far as conditions go? So I wouldn't read too much into that. England have got a lot of batters that are in form. I mean, David Malan is banging form. I mean, he's probably kept his place in the squad, and that's why Jason Roy's not in the squad. So he'll be opening the batting with Johnny Bairstow. So I do like him. But I think, as I say, I think that the betting maybe should be a little bit close together. It wouldn't surprise me if, as I say, if New Zealand did win this game, because, as I say, it's a long old tournament, isn't it? And I think, these top sides will probably only have to win 5 or 6 games to get into the semi-final. And as I say, it goes on for 2 months. So I think that New Zealand could possibly catch England a little bit cold in this first particular game.
Yeah, agree with that one. Let's look at some other Bet Rivers markets for you. We're always keen on top run scorer. I can give you some value in terms of win rates for that one. No huge wrong price on top England run scorer, but David Malan +275 is your favourite, opening the batting with Johnny Bairstow at +300. Joe Root, the same price, has been in dreadful form. Ben Stokes back into the team after retirement, +450. Joss Buttler probably is a wrong price, actually, at +550 on how often he wins. Top Kiwi for you, I'm very, very keen, and we'll be probably betting him every single game until he wins for us. +450, Glenn Phillips is a very good bet. John, who do you like in these top run scorer markets?
Yeah, I like David Malan for England. I think at the top of the order, he's the one that's, they'll both probably go very, very hard. But I think out of the two, out of Johnny and David Malan, I think David's probably more likely to sort of like play a little bit more conservatively and possibly bat the overs. So I like him, and I think he deserves to be played it. So he'd be my pick at +275. On the New Zealand side, yes, I do like Glenn Phillips. I think he's very explosive. Enjoyed watching him play for the Sunrisers in the IPL. He's a real top, 2020 player that can also play well in this format. I actually like Daryl Mitchell. I think Daryl Mitchell's been very, very good. He's been a nemesis for England in Test match cricket, ODI cricket, and he's played for the Rajasthan Royals in IPL, so the conditions won't faze him. So I thought +400, Daryl Mitchell to be top New Zealand batter would be my selection in that market.
Okay, lovely stuff. I've got a little bit of a fancy for you in terms of bowler match bet with Bet Rivers. This is a really nice market. Ish Sodhi going up against Adil Rashid. Ish Sodhi plus 110 to take more wickets. Dead heat rules apply in case we've got a tie. Adil Rashid, he's going up against minus 152. I think Adil Rashid's a bit on the decline, actually, looking at his data. And Kiwis really got stuck into him in the ODI series. And actually, England took him out of the firing line because they're worried about injury. He might have been carrying a bit of a niggle. So I think that's a strong bet. Ish Sodhi I really like as a player and could have a big tournament plus 110 for you with Bet Rivers. John, just very quickly, one line on your best pick for this game.
Yeah, I'll stick with Mitchell. I think Mitchell's consistent. So for me, my best bet in this game will be Daryl Mitchell to be top New Zealand bat plus 400.
Okay. Well, my best pick for you will be that market that I've just mentioned, Ish Sodhi to out-bowl, take more wickets than Adil Rashid at plus 110 with Bet Rivers in that opening game, England versus New Zealand at Ahmedabad on Thursday. Let's move on to game 2 in this World Cup. Do we get a shock very early doors? It's Pakistan versus Netherlands. Pakistan minus 2,000 on the money line with Bet Rivers. Netherlands plus 900. John, we don't think the Dutch are going to do huge things in this tournament. Could they catch the Pakistan team cold here at Hyderabad on Friday?
Well, Pakistan are one of those sides, aren't they? On their day, they could beat anyone, but they could also lose to anyone. That's the reason I didn't pick them to get to the semi-final stage. I just do think that they've always got a banana skin. If you look back on World Cups, they've lost as unbelievable teams when they were a lot stronger. This Netherlands side is definitely the weakest by far in the tournament. So I wouldn't put people off having a speculative bet on Netherlands to win it. Pakistan side is very, very strong. I think where they're probably going to win this is in the seam bowling. Although Nasim Shah is out injured, I think still with the likes of Shaheen Afridi and Harris Rouse at the top of the order, I think they could possibly blow the Netherlands away in the power play. So I think that's probably where the match will be won. And also Pakistan do rely heavily with their batting, don't they, on the likes of the captain Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. They're stalwarts that have always contributed, and it's always been the other players that have probably let them down over the years. So I wouldn't put people off the Netherlands. I'd probably want a little bit bigger price. So I'll be looking at a derivative market to have a bet in this game, and I think possibly Shaheen Afridi to be top Pakistan wicket taker. Anything like plus 240, plus 250 will be my bet.
Okay. We can come on to some of those top wicket taker prices in a second. I'll have a look at the top run scorer prices for you. I know Babar Azam is going to be very, very popular on these markets with Bet Rivers, so some specials on him. He's their most reliable batter in terms of how often he wins top run scorer, by the way. So you can certainly put him down in your notebook for that one. Obviously, he's going off favourite, but he's plus 200 for that. If you want to go a bit bigger, you can bet him to score a half century, minus 106. That's a more reliable wager. Go bigger in terms of stake. To score a century is plus 275. There's a very interesting market with Bet Rivers on for the most runs. This is a three-way bet, so a three ball, so to speak. Who's going to score the most runs out of these three batters? So it's Imam Ul-Haq, Fakhar Zaman, his opening partner for Pakistan, and then Max O'Dowd, the Dutch opener. And they go Imam plus 115, Fakhar plus 125, and O'Dowd plus 425. I'd suggest Imam is a very good price at plus 115. I'll give you that top wicket taker price for you for Shaheen Shah Afridi, top wicket taker for Pakistan, plus 225. John, let's go to best picks for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna as I say, I think the way that this game will probably pan out, I think the Pakistan seamers will probably be a little bit too strong for the Netherlands batting. So I'm going to go for Shaheen Afridi to be top Pakistan wicket taker at plus 250. I do like in the Netherlands. I mean, they've got a lot of journeyman batters, haven't they, Ed? And the leader who's scored runs in a Durham side, county side that won the county championship very, very easy. He's been very consistent, and then him coming in at 4 or 5 at plus 500 for top Netherlands bet. I wouldn't put you off a small bet on him, but my main bet will be Shaheen Afridi, top Pakistan wicket taker at plus 240 or 250.
Okie dokie, I'll go with that Imam price, my top pick to outscore his teammate Fakir Zaman and the Dutch guy Max O'Dowd at plus 115. That's my best pick. We're moving on to the Saturday double header. We've got the massive game on Sunday, India versus Australia, to come as well. Give us some love on the podcast provider of your choice, please, and give us a follow at Because We Win, so you can win across all sports, not just cricket. John Wright is on Twitter, or X as we call it these days, at John Wright 15, and myself at Cricket Betting, to stay tuned for the best picks. And so you're getting all the links to our Bet Rivers cricket show. Saturday, Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. John, probably not the most enticing game. It comes from Dharam Salah, which could be a bit of a spicy wicket for batters. We expect there to be some seam and swing. It's very like English conditions at Dharam Salah, or it certainly can be like that. The money line for you, Bangladesh minus 150, Afghanistan plus 120. I think this will be a very quick one. Quick game's a good game, John. Afghanistan are value at plus 120, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are value. I couldn't split these two. I mean, if you actually look at the build up to this World Cup, I mean, arguably Afghanistan are probably a better T20 side than they are ODI side. But Bangladesh, there seem to be a few injuries. Their skipper, he's a great player, Shakib Al Hassan. He's a great bowler and a great batsman. He's their best player by a country mile. But the way he leads the side, there just seems to be a little bit of in-house, a bit not infighting, but they don't seem to be a unit, Bangladesh. They've left a couple of players out that should have probably been in the side. They've got a couple of injuries. So I think that Afghanistan's bowling with unit, which is very, very good. They've got the likes of Faruqi, they've got Mujib and Rashid Khan, who's probably one of the best white ball mystery spinners in the world. Their bowling attack is very, very strong. So I couldn't split them. Afghanistan's problem, why they probably won't go further in this competition, is they don't get enough runs. I think, you know, in this World Cup, you're going to have to be scoring 290, 300 pretty regularly, and Afghanistan don't do that. But in this particular fixture, a venue where possibly conditions will equate to a low-scoring contest, I give Afghanistan a strong chance here, and I don't think there should be much in the betting. So I'm going to go with the outsider. Will you say plus 125, is it, or plus?
For Afghanistan to win the match with Bet Rivers on the money line, John, they're plus 120.
Yeah, I like that. I like that price a lot. So yeah, that'll be my bet in this particular game.
Okay, that's John Wright's pick for you. I won't double up and say the same. We'll try and find you some value elsewhere as well. So don't go far wrong with this price with Bet Rivers. Ibrahim Zadran, the Afghan batter, opening batsman, absolute class act. Fantastic batter. No one can really touch him in this Afghanistan batting lineup. Plus 100 to score more than 27.5 runs. There's also a very, very tasty price, plus 200 for him to score a 50 in this match. As your best picks for Afghanistan versus Bangladesh from Dharam Salah on Saturday. Let's keep going with you to find value. We're going to move on to South Africa versus Sri Lanka, which is also on Saturday. This one is from Delhi. We've had a bit of a chat about this in the past off air. Got a really nasty game for South Africa to start their World Cup campaign with. South Africa minus 215, Sri Lanka plus 170. It's basically South Africa batting's got a fire here, hasn't it, John? I know you like them for the futures markets. Do they avoid this nasty game and get the win?
Yeah, probably will be one of their hardest games in the tournament, as you say. They could be caught cold again. I think that South Africa will get to the latter stage of the tournament, but I don't think they're particular value in this game, funny enough. And I think probably Sri Lanka at the prices are probably the value, especially at this venue as well. I do expect South Africa to go deep, but looking at the prices, I think that Sri Lanka, it wouldn't surprise me if they traded favourites in this game at some point. So yeah, looking at the betting, I definitely want to be with the outsiders, but that's not taking away from the fact that I do think South Africa will definitely go further in the tournament after they've played their 9 group games. Because I don't think Sri Lanka will win enough games to get to the semi-final. But this particular game, I think they're valued.
Yeah, you can afford to lose 3 games, we reckon, in this 10-team league. England did it in 2019, so let's not panic on South Africa. Heinrich Klaassen plus 550, top South Africa run scorers, the best ODI batter in the world for my money. So that's a price for you on top run scorer. For Sri Lanka, there's not really much doing in this market. I really don't think we're going to be touching this market very often throughout the tournament because there's not much there in terms of ability. Kusal Mendes, all the 3s plus 333. I know John's a bit of a fan of Kusal Mendes. Dhananjaya for me plus 800 may be the wrong price. Anything else on the side markets, John?
Not really. I mean, with Hasaranga, their main spinner being out for Sri Lanka, which they'll miss him, won't they, in this tournament? I mean, they're 3 stars for me, apart from the captain, Dyson Shinako, who's a great player, plays a lot of franchise cricket. Their 3 stars will be Tikshana, who plays for Chennai, Patharana, who plays for Chennai, and then they're 2 strong bowlers, especially Patharana at the death. He bowls a very, very spearing Yorker, so look out for that. And as you say, Kusal Mendes, I mean, they'll be their stars, but I mean, I'd probably look for one of those 2 bowlers to be top bowler, either Tikshana or Patharana, but as I say, you're right. I think they're going to miss Hasaranga big time, so that's why I won't be playing the derivatives in this particular game.
Best pick, John, and then we'll go on to the blockbuster, which is India versus Australia. I'm not going to have a pick in this game because there's just nothing jumping out. I might have 2 in the next one.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ed, but I mean, I'm probably going to go for the outright market. I think that Sri Lanka will trade a lot shorter than the price they are at the start of the game, so I think that's the value in the game. So I'm going to take Sri Lanka plus 170, Ed?
Yeah.
Plus 170. I think that's fair in this particular game.
Okay. India versus Australia is the highlight game, isn't it, of this preview show for Bet Rivers. It's from Chennai. I'll give you a very important stat here, 64% toss bias for the chaser. So I suspect that informs what we do on the money line with Bet Rivers for this blockbuster game. As you expect, India are favourites to win this match. They're minus 162, Australia plus 130. These 2 teams know each other absolutely inside out. They've just completed a 3-match ODI series, which India won 2-1, and Australia won the previous series, which was at the start of the year, by the same margin. So they know each other very, very well. John, if you're going to get India beat, you're going to get them beat early, I suspect. And Australia will not be daunted by this prospect whatsoever. If they bat second here, do you back them? Because we don't expect the money line to bust, do we, or change?
No, I think I think you're right, and I think there'll be many a time where India get off to a very, very fast start, but probably don't get the score that everyone expects them to. And I think Australia will be better chasing, especially in Chennai. I do worry about the Australians at the start of a tournament as well. I mean, Travis Head, who's probably going to miss the first couple of games, he'll come in to open with Davey Warner. So in this particular match, I would imagine they'll probably open with Davey Warner and maybe Mitch Marsh. I think Mitch Marsh is probably better batting at number 3. And the bowling as well, as we said, on a Chennai pitch, Australia are only going to have 1 frontline spinner in Adam Zampa. That's all they've got in their squad. So the likes of Glenn Maxwell's probably going to have to bowl 10 overs. And maybe they're going to even look, if it does turn square, they're probably going to have to look for someone else to bowl, maybe even a Labuschagne or a Steve Smith to get a couple of overs out. Their bowling squad seems to be very, very top heavy with seamer all-rounders, Australia. I mean, I'm looking at their side. I mean, Cameron Green, who's a great cricketer, but I probably don't think he gets in this side because I think they've got enough bowlers that probably bat a bit, but not enough batters that bowl a bit, especially if you're going to play Marnus Labuschagne and Steve Smith. So I think the balance of the Australian side is a little bit found wanting, especially with Travis Head not being there for the first couple of matches. So that's why I probably think that India deserve to be favourites on a Chennai pitch. But I take your point, Ed. If Australia do win the toss and insert India, I can see that Australia will think they've got a chance of chasing something down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's probably what I would do. I'll be waiting for the toss on this one. I'll be back in Australia. Any other bets on top run scorer, top wicket taker, John, or do you want to just go straight to top pick for you?
No, I'll go for top pick for me. I'm going to stick with this guy throughout the tournament. I think he deserves to be favourite in the long odds futures market for top batsman of the tournament. Shubman Gill in great form. Okay, he's favourite for this particular market, opening the batting with Rohit Sharma, but I think he will definitely be more consistent. I mean, Rohit, they both go hard at the top of the innings, but I think if Rohit does get out, then you've got the likes of Kohli coming in, who seems to sort of bat for himself a little bit. I mean, Gill will outscore him in strike rate. So I like Gill at the top of the order, and I think I'm going to be backing him right the way through the tournament. So plus 275 for him as a solid opening bet to be top Indian batter.
Okay, Shubman Gill over 37.5 runs is available at plus 100 with Bet Rivers. You can also bet him for a half century at plus 120 and for a century at plus 425. I'm going to put that Gill bet at over 37.5 as well as my top picks, and my second top pick for this one, because I've got one spare, having swerved that South Africa versus Sri Lanka match. We've got a three-way bet, most runs. So who's going to score most runs out of these three batters? It's Virat Kohli at plus 145, Steve Smith at plus 155, and then Labuschagne at plus 235. I'm going to go with Steve Smith for that one. Probably be having a little bit of an interest in him, maybe top run scorer overall for Australia, but plus 155, I think he gets the job done on this one. So those are my two picks for you in the blockbuster as the World Cup really starts to heat up. India versus Australia from Chennai on Sunday. That is your Bet Rivers Cricket Show first preview show done in terms of the matches. We're with you throughout the tournament, finding the best picks for these games as they come thick and fast. Do check out our World Cup Futures preview show as well, where John and I have uncovered the best value for the futures market. So join us again soon as we do deep dives on this World Cup and find the best value for you. We'll see you soon.